All right, boys and girls, I want to welcome live stream viewers tuning in. About to get started here with another Sugar Saturday here. It is blazing out with that sun out here. Track is hot. Got a good crowd today. Better than I expected, so I do appreciate everybody coming out today. All right, Bill Jr., Bill Sr., let's get him out there, run some laps. Mr. Frank will be out there in just a moment. We'll get the transponders here now. All right, boys and girls. All right, boys and girls. You get down there, run a couple hot laps, get you used to the track. Things change throughout the day with temperature, moisture, humidity, all that good stuff. And that was Mr. Frank. He's checked in. Again, green and yellow on. Turn them loose. You got hot laps. And that was Junior. All right, if you're watching online, jump in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. All right, all my drivers are checked in. And we're going to give Senior a chance to get a lap or two in here if he needs it. All right, we got a handful of people tuning in online. It is a warm day out here. Right now it says it's 86 with 40% humidity. We'll see how that does things. We got some drivers on the stand with the hats. It's one of those days. Good thing we're starting on nights on the Saturdays here in May. So, the order for this one is going to be Mr. Frank Bradley is going to roll us off here about quarter throttle, followed by Bill Jr. and Bill Sr. We're going to go across the line once so I can double check transponders are set and all the levels are good. And we will start somewhere between turn 3 and 4 for this race. Oh, things are looking beautiful. I pick it up just a little bit because here we go. And we're off and running. Everybody's running. All right, just about 55 seconds into this. Frank Bradley showing the way. He's rocking the Rennerite out there. That's the blue and yellow bomber. Went too deep in turn 4. Fast lap of a 5.9. Got Bill Jr. in second. He's got a fast lap of a 7.2. He's rocking the SR10, the white Monty out there, and Bill Sr. rocking a short course with a 7-4. Oh, Frank turned in too early on turn 3. 130 down, 2:30 to go. 4-minute races here near Red Hobbies. Frank's like, yeah, I should have rented this thing earlier. This thing's gripping and ripping, baby. There's a reason why. I won't mention it just yet. I kind of touched it a little bit. Unfortunately, it's a Losi, so it's never going to be good as an associated. Just giving you guys got some jokes here. If you're just tuning in, Mr. Sticks is learning how to run some of the races today. So you're going to hear him in a little bit. Oh my gosh, Frank is upside down. And he had a 5.7 last time by. Comes back with a 12.5. He's rocking a 35 lap pace in 4.06. Bill Sr. on a 27.403. Junior on a 27.404. They are 0.6 apart. And that might change now after a little kerfuffle. Oh, Bill Sr. going deep into 3. Almost caught a sticky wicket there off of Bob Rumplash. 120 to go. Ocala Bomber, you need to start heading to staging right meow. Bomber is going to be Coleman, Cola, Ponder, Wags, West, and Mason. That's right, yours truly Mason. Coming out for a few laps anyways till it goes bad.
All good until it goes right.
Go. "45 seconds. Does anybody have a temp gun? We need to measure that track temp. Boys definitely got to stay down in that groove. We only resugared through certain parts of the track where it definitely needed it. You're more than 5 feet off the corners. You need to slow down earlier. Shortest way around the track is 99.99% of the time the fastest way around. "10 seconds, drivers. Mr. Frank coming out of retirement after like 20 years. Clearly not lost it totally. That is time, drivers. Keep going, keep going. Senior is done. Frank is done. And Junior's done. Shut it down. Frank Bradley setting an early TQ here. 34 laps. That's a great time for a normal bomber race. Oh, baby. Bill Jr. with 27. Bill Sr. with 26. Fast lap going to Frank. 5.741.
All right, everybody cross the line, check in. Good, everybody checked in, but West and Holmes. Got 30 seconds to turn and burn. Everybody is checked in. All right, the order is Coleman, Cola, David Ponder, Wagner, West, and McCombs.
In order.
All right. We got Mason McCombs in first place, Jason Wagner in second, David Coleman in third, Ponder in fourth, Cola in fifth, and Charles West in sixth. Mason McCombs pulling a fast lap, 5.508. Jason Combs in the lead with a 5.507. Jason Wagner second, Coleman third, Ponder fourth. Oh, just switched up. Cola fifth, Charles West sixth place. Oh, Mason just hit the 5.43. Got Mason on a 40-lap pace right now. Wagner on a 39. Ponder on a 35. Cole on a 32. Got Mason dropping down to a 5.33. First place, Jason Wagner second, Ponder third, Cola fourth. Coleman and West sixth. You're across the line, you're done. You guys are done. All right, we got everybody checked in. We got another 30 seconds to burn. Starting lineup is going to be George, Allen, and Anthony. Are we getting a minute's grace? All right, your starting grid is going to be George, Allen, and Anthony. Come on. Start them off. Anthony in first place with a 5.74. Oh. He waits for you and you give him a little touchback. Gee. Oh. A little bit of instant karma in the corner. Minute 40 remaining, Anthony, and on a 38 lap pace at 5.76. Nice little inside pass. Anthony on a 38 lap pace. Thirty seconds remaining. Nothing, you cross that line. Oh, one more lap. We're over. Cross the line. Let's get our marshals down here, get everybody across the line, get us checked in. Five feet. On our marshals, and I ponder where Ponder is.
All right, guys, we're just looking for Mr. Ponder to get checked in. Need Bronick down here to marshal, plus one volunteer marshal to help us out. In the meantime, drivers, roll them off. You got 50 seconds to turn and burn.
All right. Ponder is checked in. Here's. All right. Our order is Charles, John Cola, Coleman, and Ponder.
All these boys shaking and baking out there. Plenty of room out there, guys. Oh, Coleman and Cola getting together out in the loose stuff. All right, these guys are throwing some heaters down to a 5.56 for Cola out there in the white and blue. Number 5 down the front straightaway he goes. Ponder in second. He's in the white and orange 26. Now Ponder taking over lead. They're so close to flip-flopping it back and forth. It's 2/10, less than 2/10 between Cola and Ponder. Charles coming out of retirement. It's been like a year since he's run, back 1.9 at the line. Charles in what we call the purple and gray. I almost said it, didn't I? And Coleman in the green. Fast laps. Coleman up to a 5.381 last time by. Cole's got a 5.44. Ponder 5.40. Charles 5.51. Today might be a day for some new track records. Got the new track record board hung up inside. We're working on getting that filled out. Trying to figure out how to fit all of it on there. And Coleman up to a 5.36 now. He's back in third. All three of these guys beating that first TQ or from that first heat from Anthony at a 38.402. These guys are on a 43 lap pace, caution in 2. Oh, Charles taking one on the heel. Just remember, guys, pick it up and get out of the way. Just about halfway, drivers. Just about halfway. There it is, halfway. Up next, Losi Sprint. Start heading to staging. And that's going to be Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Trevor Munoz, Charles West, Mike Raines. Mike finally getting his sprint car. He's going to throw it down today. First time racing it. Did a couple adjustments for him, trying to help him out, and we'll see how well it holds up. And now Ponder taking over the lead.
5.36.
Yeah, Coleman and Cola with 5.3s, along with Coleman. So Ponder with a 5.364. Caution out of 4. Gentlemen, we got to clean it up here. Cola with a 5.37. Coleman 5.36. Charles a 5.51. Caution in 2. Caution in 2. That Ponder to the lead at the moment. Top 3 separated by 4 seconds. Charles back a couple laps now after some kerfuffles, unfortunately. He hasn't raced in a year, so we got to cut him a little slack. Coleman trying to muscle his way forward, making a fairly clean pass. Thank you, gentlemen. 34 seconds to go. It's Ponder, Coleman, Charles. Still rocking a 42-lap pace between our leaders. They're 2 seconds apart on the clock here. Ponder showing the way. Cola in second. Coleman back 2.5 in third. Charles back 2 laps right now. Five seconds to go. That is time, drivers. Race it out, race it out. Looking for one more and shut it down, shut it down. Ponder taking that one by 2.4. 42-lap run there for flat. Cola with a 4.03. Coleman with a 4.05. All 3 of those guys separated by just over 4 seconds. Charles with 39 laps. Second round, we might combine everybody. We'll see. All right. Not yet. I don't need to have 2 guys out there in one race. It doesn't work for me. All right, Losi Sprints, let's get them down and checked in.
Everybody across the line, check in. Have everybody stop?
All right, everybody stop, guys. Stop. Everybody stop.
Like range caution line. Thompson cross the line.
Chris Thompson, cross the line.
Trevor cross the line. Got our marshals down here.
Okay, guys, once you're done with your race, you put your car on the table, head out to track to Marshall.
And last but not least, Charles West, can I get you to cross the line, please? Thank you, thank you. All right, you guys got a minute on the clock. Turn and burn. Anything. Right, your starting lineup is going to be Rains, Thompson, Martin, and West. Oh. Caution 3 and 4. Caution 3 and 4. Chris Thompson in first with a 6:11. Trevor second. Peter Martin third. Mike Raines fourth. Charles West fifth. Mr. Thompson back down to a 5.9. Lineup goes Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Trevor, Mike Raines, Charles West. Thompson the fast lap of 5.90. Seconds between first and second right now. To the left, you heard it. Lineup: Chris, Peter, Trevor, Mike, Charles. Oh. Ten seconds remaining. You cross the line, you are done. Race is over. Buggy late models up next. Got Chris, John Cola, and Mike Roney. Checked in, just waiting to get our marshals down here. Got a minute to turn to burn. Yeah, burn. Turn to burn. Sorry about that, guys. Bear with me. I'm a little green at this. Starting lineup for our race is going to be Chris, John Cola, and Mike Roney. Guys, get enough practice in? Ready? Okay. Get us lined up. Starting order is going to be Chris, John, and Mike. I don't remember, but you didn't do that bad. Off. Start, guys. Good job. Coming out swinging with a 5.59. Ordered Cola, Chris, and Rooney. Cola setting a 43 lap pace right now with a 5.55. Chris answering back with a 5.53 of his own. About 10 seconds in first and second right now. Cola in first place, answering back with a fast lap of 5.52. About to hit the halfway point. Cola first, Chris second, Rooney third. Oh, Robin. 'Just about a minute on the clock. John Cola first, Chris second, Mike Rooney third.
"15 seconds to go. Buggy late model. Cola leading the way here. 42.401. Gronky back 2.3. Rooney back about a lap here. Good, clean battle on the clock, anyways. 4, 3, 2, 1. That is time. Drivers race it out. Race it out. Caution in 1. Looking for Chris to finish out here. Why did you pull off? Bum, 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 bum. It's okay. It's not going to change anything at the moment. Cola going to take that one. 42.401. Chris with 41 laps and 350 something there. And Mike with 40 laps. 4 flat. Keep going until the red light's on. Or somebody's running out there waving, "Hey, problem." All right, boys and girls, let's see who's online out here. Watch online, jump in the chat. We see Ganya. Happy Easter to you, sir. Mr. Luke Smith cheering on Coleman in one of these races. Just to remind you guys, it is 87 out, and I am in an all-metal box. It's hot in here. Good thing we're going to nights here pretty soon. Don't forget, next Saturday, indoor oval racing. Track will be set up after Thursday Night Thunder for Friday practice for the oval guys. All right. We got a slightly mixed class here. We got 4 Traxxas Modifieds and Mr. Bob bringing us Slash Street out here. All right, so all my racers just got off the stand. Oh, we're gonna need some volunteers here because Chris is the only guy who's able-bodied out there. We got 1 volunteer already. Thank you, sir. Charles, one more time for me, sir. Sorry about that. Check it in one more time. Charles doing some work to the body there, making it shine a little bit. All right, looking for Coleman and Thompson. Sticks already wanted the Scooby-Doo pool out here. Like, I don't know, man. Electronics and water just generally don't mix. All right. We got 2 marshals out there. We're going to turn you guys loose. And we're waiting on Coleman. He was chitter-chattering at one point. Dave Coleman. Last call for Dave Coleman. Got a mixed bag here. We got Mike rocking his 12 turn. We got Charles with his Traxxas Modified, Chris with his Traxxas Modified, and Bob with his Street Stock. In theory, Bob might just be the fastest guy out there. We'll see. We'll see. Physics work in mysterious ways at times. We got Chris out here. Thank you, sir. I think we might be able to cover this. Away we go. Last call for Dave Coleman. I know he had a 1 minute. He was goofing off with his broken driveline earlier. Dave's buying pizza for everybody. I know he was sitting up there twiddling his thumbs because I was talking to him. Before I came back down here, I was talking to him. Apparently, the CVD busted or whatever, and there he is. Bearing stuck on it and all sorts of good stuff. So, all right. What is that thing? Is that four-wheel drive too? All right. Just sound right. I don't know. It looks a little suspect, sir. All right, boys and girls, 4 minutes on the clock. Let's roll it off. Excuse me, hold on. David Coleman, Chris Thompson, Bob Rumplash, Charles West, Mike Raines. Here we go. I have a feeling Dave's running his actual tracks or his actual modified. All right, Coleman down to a 5.9. Chris with a 6.3. Oh, we got mayhem in turn 3 and 4, and it's clear. And Coleman was waiting for him. Guess they had a little kerfuffle there. At the line, it's Chris Thompson on a 36-lap run here. So close to 37 laps. 2,000ths on the clock there for him. And there it is. He now is on a 37-lap pace. Mike Raines in second. So your leader in the orange and white, number 48. Mike Raines in the black and green, number 10. Coleman in the green and white, the checkered on it. In third, Charles West in fourth. Find him out there. He's got the Traxxas Modified, the green and black one, with the little, the shiny stuffs on it, the sparklies. And Bob at the back of the field right now by 1.8 seconds in that blue, number 4 / Street Stock. Looks like she's a little, gotta work on some of that suspension. And Bob just throwing down a new fast lap for himself, a 6.39. Charles has a 6.33. Coleman 5.92. Mike Raines 6.44. Chris Thompson 6.14. Caution in 2. And we are clear. Halfway, drivers, halfway. Caution in 3, high into 3. Go high through 3. Stay high through 3. Not you, Bob. Everybody else is supposed to go around you. Last race of the first round. Try to get started around to about 350. Make that 355. Second round, going to go a little faster. I think we're going to combine our short course late models together. And unfortunately, the Bills and Novice had to go home. Somebody was not feeling well. And Mr. Frank going to get bumped up to Bomber. Because clearly he was in the running there. Get what, 34 laps plus? So that's going to shorten things up a little bit for round 2. Un momento. Oh, we got one in the center. That was Coleman. Caution in 3. And Charles drives out of it properly. Good job. Thank you. Definitely try not to drive across traffic when possible. One way to end up with parts, broken parts. Caution out of 2. Caution out of 2. Stay low, drivers. And we are clear. 15 seconds to go. Chris Thompson out front right now. Looks like he's had a couple extra cleaner laps than some of the guys. 38 lap pace. Still with a 6-1. That is time, drivers. Keep racing, keep racing. Coleman is done. And looking for Charles, shut it down. Chris Thompson setting that early TQ, 38.405. Fast lap of 6-1 for him. Coleman second overall with 35.4 flat. And the fast lap of a 5.92. Mike Raines back 3 seconds there in third. Also with 35 laps and a 6.4. Bob with 33 laps and a 6.3 fast lap. And Charles with 32 laps and a 6.2. So it's just about getting those clean laps in there. Get that good time. All right, boys and girls, it is 3:37. Round 2 starts at 3:55, so about 20 minutes. All right, boys and girls, once again, we're making a change there. We're combining short course late model to 1 heat, moving Frank to bomber. That takes us down to 5 races for round 2. All right, all right, all right. Round 2 starts now. Looking for Ocala Bomber, Mason, Jason, David Ponder, John Cola, Coleman, Charles West, Frank Bradley getting bumped up from novice. Marshals will be short course modified. Chris Thompson, David Coleman, Mike Raines, Bob Rumplash, Charles West. We need a couple volunteers to help us out with this one. Get him down and checked in, gentlemen. Mr. Sticks is on his way down here.
Guys can turn and burn. Guys can do hot laps. Up. Lined up. Mason McCombs, Jason Wagner, David Ponder, John Cola, David Coleman, Charles West, and Frank Bradley. I am speaking into the mic. Jesus! Guys are so hostile today. Bear with me, I'm remedial. All right, starting lineup is going to be Mason McCombs, Jason Wagner, David Ponder, John Cola, David Coleman, Charles West, and Frank Bradley. Caution turn 3 and 4. Oh, big tie up 3 and 4. Got it cleared up. Oh, we're getting squirrely in 3 and 4 here. Mason McCombs first place, a fast lap of 5. Ooh, no, Wagner just took it from him with a fast lap of 5.43. Lineup going: Mason McCombs, Jason Wagner, David Ponder, John Cola fourth. Coleman and Bradley just switched up for 5th and 6th. Charles West 7th. Mason McComb coming back with a fast lap of 5.38. Caution 4. Oh, caution on the front straight. Hit the halfway mark. Cola pulling her off. Coleman pulling her off the handle. Mason McCombs in first with a 41 lap pace. Jason Wagner in second. David Ponder third. John Cole fourth. Bradley fifth. Coleman sixth. Charles West seventh. Oh, caution on the back straight. Caution on the back straight. One minute left. You heard it. Mason still holding fast at the fastest lap at 5.38. Seconds left, guys. Put it on. All right, when you cross the line, you are done. Mason McCombs. Charles West, Wagner. Done, we're done. Mason McCombs first, Jason Wagner second, David Ponder third, John Cole fourth, Bradley fifth, West sixth, and Coleman seventh. Up next, short course late model. All right, guys, turn to burn. Get them checked in. Waiting on John Cola, Charles Lazat, and Anthony Smothers to check in. Charles. Paging Charles. Hello, hello, buddy out there. Waiting on Charles Lazat and John Cola to check in. Hey, Mason, where's Cola? Give these guys a couple minutes to check in and get laps under. All right, starting lineup is going to be Anthony Smothers, Alan Hayward, George, David Coleman, David Ponder, Charles Lazat, and John Cola. All right, starting order is going to be Anthony Smothers, Alan Hayward, George, David Coleman, David Ponder, Charles Lazat, and John Cola. Time to get checked in. Feel the handle? Turn it off for 30 seconds and turn it back on. It should reset itself. All right, get everybody checked in. Let's line her up. Anthony Smothers, Allen, George, Coleman, Ponder, Charles Lazat, and John Cola. Oh boy. Oh, caution 3 and 4. You were going to be getting crazy on this one, huh? Mr. Smothers and Charles Lazat playing a little game of touch and go with first and second. John Cola in third. Just switched up with Ponder. John Cola fourth. Coleman fifth. George sixth. Hayward seventh. Caution on the front straight. Caution on the front straight. Oh, caution coming out onto the front straight. Charles Lazat in first, Anthony Smothers second, David Ponder in third, John Cole coming up in fourth, Coleman in fifth, George sixth, Allen in seventh. Caution on the front straight, caution on the front straight. Wonder what happened. Oh, Coleman coming up. Charles Lazat in first, Coleman second, Smothers in third, Cola fourth, George fifth, David Ponder in sixth, Alan Hayward in seventh. Caution 1 and 2, caution 1 and 2. Caution 3 and 4, caution 3 and 4, go high, go high. Caution in the front, straight, caution in the front. Cleared up. Guys, you seriously gonna let Ponder pull his car off the track for the fastest lap? Somebody's gonna beat the 5.36. Over here having a stroke. Caution 3 and 4, caution 3 and 4. Charles in first place on a 40 lap pace. Anthony Smothers in second on a 39 lap pace. Cola in third. Coleman fourth. George in fifth. Cross that line, the race is over. We are done. We are done. I did use the mic. I said we're done. Up next, Losi Sprint Cars.
All right, boys and girls, just so some of you out there know, Charles took that with 40 laps, Anthony 39, Cola 38, Coleman 38, George with 37, Allen 28, and Ponder with 14. Ponder had the fast lap, 5.36.5. The rest of you guys are slow. No, I'm kidding. Still 87 out, feels like 128 in the booth. All right, need my marshals out there. Once again, your car should be on the table. Head out the track to marshal. You got one of the transponders, you got to return it back to us otherwise. And get on the track. 4 people need to be out there. 2 in the infield, 2 on the exits of the corners. Looking for a check-in from Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Mike Raines, Trevor Munoz. All right, once again, check them in, and we'll get our marshal out here in just a second. Once again, just need everybody checked in. We're looking for Peter and Chris. Isn't that like some of the Beatles? Yeah, unfortunately, I slightly messed up when I did round 2 and had to get rid of novice and combine the short course. I didn't quite get the order exactly right. Apologies for that. All right, we got some marshals out there. They're going to spread on out. Ignore that, guys. We're going to give you about a minute here. All right, as soon as Mr. George clears that front straightaway, you guys can turn them loose. All right, bring them up to speed. Anybody have a temp gun nearby? I'd love to temp my table here. Somebody's got some power out there. Is that Peter? Yeah, oh. All right. It's like we're okay on marshals. Let's get them in order. It's going to be Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Mike Raines, Trevor Munoz, and Charles West. One more time across the line here. So I'm a happy guy. Most people are counting pretty good. Peters might be a little under the weather, but that's good for now. Here we go. Current TQ, Chris Thompson, 38. 401. Let's see what these guys can do this round. Oh, Chris spins it out. And after 3 laps, Mike Raines to the top of the charts here. One of our green and black ones in the number 10, if you can see that on camera. I doubt it. Mike coming off turn 4, a little high. Still looks like he's got to work on some of the balance of that just a little bit. He did a couple adjustments early on, but it's literally out of the box and onto the track. I think he's running the harder tires, though. And the 23 pinion seems to be the ticket right now. Range showing the way with a 6.37 on a 37-lap run here. Just off TQ by a lap. Trevor with a 6.48 last time by. That's a new fast lap for him. And Chris Thompson out of nowhere with a 6.0. Must have just hit that line right. Caution down the front straight. Oh, we got Mayhem in 1. Now Mike Raines coming back with a 6.2. These guys might have been sandbagging a little bit. Charles with a 6.5 that time by. Trevor with a 6.23. Looks like these boys decided they want to start racing now. 150 down, 210 to go. Raines with a 6.1 last time by, comes back with a 6.28, now on a 38.405. Got to find about 4 seconds here with 1:30 to go. Chris Thompson in second, back 5.5 at the line. Peter in third by 1.6. Trevor in fourth. Trevor back 4.8, and Charles behind him by, from cross line here, and a lap. And like Charles might have had some trouble there. Oh, he comes by with an 18-second lap. That's unfortunate. So far, Raines, Munoz, and West improving their qualifying time at the moment with 50 seconds. Up next, Buggy Late Model. That's going to be Chris, John, and Mike. If you're watching online, jump in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Wish everybody a happy Easter. Hope it's wonderful. Caution in 3, and we're clear. 10 seconds, drivers. Still Raines, Thompson, 1.3 apart. That's time. Race it out, race it out. Thompson is done. Charles is done. Trevor, Peter, and shut it down. Mike Raines, 37.405. Not enough for that new TQ. He's going to put it third overall with that run. Chris with 36, Peter with 36. They're going to stay 1 and 2 from the first round. Trevor with 34 laps, bumping up his time, but going to stay 4th overall, along with Charles with 32 laps and going to stay 5th. All right, Buggy Late Model, let's get him down and checked in. All right, all my drivers are checked in. All right, gentlemen, roll them off, roll them off. All right, all right, all right. Let's get them in order. It's John Cole, followed by Chris Gronke and Mike Rooney. We got our super marshals down at the north end. We got our other marshals down at the south end. We should be good here. 4 minutes on that clock. Current TQ 42 and 401. Here we go. And we're off and running. Round 2 of buggy late model. Let's see what these guys have. The good thing they already have 42 laps because I'm qualified behind them by 1 lap in bomber. About to go get my alligator shoes. My Rolex out here. Woo! Rooney down to a 5.8. Chris with a 6.0. Cola with a 6.0. All right, 115 down. Chris up to a 40 lap pace now. These boys got to find something out there, turn it up a notch. Cola with a 5.88. Rooney with a 5.80. Definitely plenty of traction out there. I have to go back and do some work on my car before the main. Otherwise, I would have turned faster laps yet. I'm not taunting people yet. I got to go to Anthony Smuller's car and take them dangles off that and put that on a real race car. Huh. Did you hear that, Anthony? I need to borrow your dangles, sir. All right, 120 to go. Traxxas modifieds. Looks like Mr. Bob's going to switch to his modified. Something acting up with his slash street. So, say come out here with the other one and try to put it to you guys. Chris showing the way. 40 lap run here. Nobody improving their qualifying time just yet. Chris with a 5.7 flat. Mike 5.78. Cole with a 5.84. 10 seconds. 5.56 for Chris. About 5-6 laps ago, Mike was still with 5.78. Cole's still 5.84. Cola's done. Rooney's done. Looking for Chris to finish out here. Going deep, saying hello to John and shut it down. Chris going to take that one. 41.405. Not enough to improve his qualifying time there from the last round. Mike Rooney with 39 and Cole with 37. We'll see what these guys bring for the main right now. Nobody improved their time on that one, unfortunately. Maybe they're just taking it easy. Saving the mayhem for the main. All right, boys and girls, modifieds, let's get them on out here. Chris Thompson, David Coleman, Mike Raines, Bob Rumplash, and Charles West. All right, we got 2 checked in. Make that 2 now. So Coleman's checked in. Charles is checked in. Who's the orange? Is that Bob? Check it in, Bob. Check it in. Sorry about that. I have to get the old tech tools out here in a little bit. All right, just waiting for Chris Thompson and our marshals. We're gonna need some volunteers for this one. I think Chris Gronke's the only able-bodied one out there at the moment, and we're gonna need a couple volunteers for this one. So looking for our super marshals. Please jump on out here and lead by example. Also gives you a lot of RC karma when you're in a bad situation. Thank you, Mr. Frank. All right, drivers, Frank's going to cover everything for you, so roll them off. We'll tack on a few extra seconds here. There you go, 75 seconds. Trying to give Mr. Chris a chance to get it out here. And time for our other marshal to get on out here. All right, need Mr. Chris Gronke out here in the infield to help us out. Plus any other volunteers we can get. There's only 5 of these guys. It can't be that bad. Did I just jinx it? I think Trevor, he's taking a big swig of that water. He might be heading out there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, last race of the round. We will be taking another solid 20 minutes after this. Give people time and chance, charge their car, make any adjustments, and maybe let things cool off a little bit. Looks like Alan's going to help us out there. Thank you, sir. All right, drivers, let's roll it off. It's going to be Chris Thompson, David Coleman, Mike Raines, Bob Rumplash, Charles West. All right, 4 minutes on that clock. Current TQ, 38 laps by Chris Thompson. Here we go. And we're off and running. With Traxxas modified. Oh, Reigns might have caught a little rut out there. He didn't patch any holes. We just gave her a little extra squirt of juice. Right, all right, all right. A couple new hot laps in here. Let's see what happens. Oh, Charles going deep, getting tangled up with somebody. Got a kerfuffle in turn 2, and that's going to shake things up here. I think Chris avoided all that, so he's just going to stretch out his lead here over Bob Rumplash in second by 2.3. So Chris in the orange and white and Bob in the orange. Your leaders right now. Charles back to third. Coleman behind him by less than a tenth. Reigns back to tenths in fifth. And we'll give it a couple more laps to see how it shakes out. Oh, behind you, Frank, behind you. Coleman with a 6-1, Bob with a 6-3, Chris 6-2, Mike 6-2. Everybody's starting to turn it up here. Everybody has a 6-2 or better. Coleman's dropped a 6-0, 130 down, 230 to go. Your leader on a 37-lap pace, 4 flats. Got to find about 9 tenths here and then some to actually beat the TQ. Oh, Bob sideways in 1. Almost got T-boned there by Coleman. Good save from those drivers. Just past halfway. Right now, Bob, Charles, the only 2 improving their time. Everybody else is off pace just a little bit here. Chris Thompson showing the way over Bob by a lap and changed. Bob just dropped a 6.22, new fast lap for him, and that orange number 4. Charles West back 1.2 in second. He's got the fast lap of a 6.08 right now. Pick him up down the front straightaway, rocking the green wheels and the sparkly standard body. He went to the Weiss Bedazzled supplies and went to town on it. Mike Reigns back 2 seconds in fourth. That black and green, number 10, coming off turn 4. And Coleman behind him by 1.6. Oh, somebody clobbered turn 4. And left some weight or something on the track there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's weight or just some rocks. It's like weight to me. 45 seconds ago. Chris Thompson now on a TQ run here by 6 tenths. Oh, Charles spinning out from that second spot. Spins out high in 1. See how that shakes things up. Reigns to second. Charles all the way to 5th now. 2nd to 5th and 1 wreck.
Oh.
Caution on back straight. Oh, Bob says hello. 10 seconds. Oh, Coleman spinning out. I have a feeling his tires have given out on him. That is time. Drivers, keep going, keep going. Bob is done. Coleman's done. Everybody's done. Shut it down. Chris Thompson, not enough to hold on for that new TQ. He's off it by a second and a half. 38.406. Reigns with 36, bumping up 1 spot to second. Bob bumping up 1 spot to third with a 35-lap run. Coleman with the 35-lap run, going to lose 2 spots down to 4th. And Charles with 33 laps, improving his time, but going to stay 5th. That is it for qualifying. It is 4:45. Main start at 5:05. We'll have the mains posted here in just a moment. All right, boys and girls, we are going to flip-flop Losi Sprint and short course late model. So hopefully it's a little closer to round one. Ocala Bomber will be first, followed by Losi Sprint, short course late model, buggy late model, and Traxxas modified. All right, boys and girls, Mike is coming out with the mains posting. He's posting up right meow. Although this is not right. So let me look at this here. Something ain't going on right here. Mike, take that down for a second. Pull that heat sheet down. Pull that sheet down, please. All right, boys and girls, once again, main start at 5:05. All right, boys and girls, it's time for the main. Start heading this way. Ocala Bomber, Mason McCombs, Jason Wagner, David Ponder, John Cola, Frank Bradley, Charles West, David Coleman. Marshals will be modified. Chris Thompson, Mike Raines, Bob Rumplash. Coleman and Charles are both racing, so we're going to need a volunteer. Like we'll need 2 volunteers.
Just waiting on a check-in from David Coleman and Mason McCombs himself. Coleman's out. Alrighty. Seconds left, turn and burn. Down some hot laps. All right, your starting lineup for this one is going to be Mason McCombs, Jason Wagner, David Ponder, John Cola, Frank Bradley, and Charles West. Roll them off. Oh, Mason's going to start from the back. All right. All right, guys, let's get them lined up. Sorry about that. Delayed response. Here we go. Oh, caution on the backside, caution on the backside. Got Jason Wagner out there with the fastest lap of 5.62. He was a stroke. Wagner first, Cola second, Mason third, Bradley second, West fifth, Ponder is sixth. Angle up on 3 and 4. Waymark. All this. Jason Wagner in first place for the fastest lap of a 5.50. Put himself on a 40 lap pace right now with Mason McCombs right behind him on a 39 lap pace. John Cola, David Ponder, Weston Bradley. That there. Oh. Caution 3 and 4. Oh. Caution on the backside. Line up right now. Jason Wagner first, John Cola second, David Ponder third, Charles Weston fourth, Frank Bradley fifth. Mason McCombs is out. Wag still holding on to the lead with a 40 lap pace. Just dropped his fastest lap to a 5.49. You heard it there. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Oh, caution 3 and 4. Caution 3 and 4. Front straightaway. Front straightaway. All right, you got Wagner still holding on to first place. John Cole second. Ponder third. West fourth. Bradley in fifth. Wagner's hitting a 40 lap pace. John Cole behind him with a 37. Ponder with a 33. Charles West with a 30 lap pace. And Bradley on a 30 lap. You cross that line, you are done. Jason Wagner. Cola. West. Ponder. You are done. You are done. Finishing up, Wagner first, Cola second, Ponder third, West fourth, and Bradley in fifth. Next race is going to be Losi Sprint A Main, looking for Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Mike Rains, Trevor Munoz, and Charles West. Jason, how do I put a minute on the clock, dude? All right, the starting lineup on this one, once we get all warmed up, is going to be Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Mike Raines, Trevor Munoz, and Charles West. Waiting on Mike Raines to get checked in. Wags, I just want you to know, you look like Farmer Brown with the hat on. Love you, though. Get Mike checked in real quick. Everyone good with burning laps? Line her up. Starting lineup is going to be Chris Thompson, Peter Martin, Mike Raines, Trevor Munoz, and Charles West. Starting lineup is going to be Thompson, Martin, Raines, Munoz, and West. That. Oh. One off the track, one off the track. Got Peter Martin out there with the fastest lap right now with a 5.94. Chris Thompson in first place, Peter Martin in second, Trevor Munoz in third, Mike Raines in fourth, and Charles West in fifth. Look at that. Oh, pulling wheelies down the front straight. Oh, Mr. Thompson just stole the fastest lap of the 5.85. Peter Martin in second place, Raines in third, Munoz in fourth, and West in fifth. Oh, caution 3 and 4, caution 3 and 4. Caution on the front straight, caution front straight. Right, the lineup right now, Martin in first place, Thompson with the fastest lap of the 5.78, Raines in third, West in fourth, Munoz in fifth. Oh, caution on the front straight. Oh, caution 3 and 4. Caution 3 and 4. Go high, go high. Or low. Peter Martin at a 38 lap pace. Chris Thompson right behind him on a 38 lap pace. Mike Raines on a 36. Charles West on a 31. And Trevor on a 27. Ten seconds left. You cross the line, you are done. You are done, you are done. Ending results, Peter Martin in first place, Chris Thompson, Mike Raines, Charles West, and Trevor Munoz. Fastest lap, Chris Thompson with a 5.78. Next up, short course late model A main, looking for David Ponder, John Cola, David Coleman, Charles Lazat, Anthony Smothers, George Bronick, and Alan Hayward. Just waiting on a check-in from Anthony Smothers. Got our marshals out there, cut them loose, turn and burn. Last call for Anthony Smothers. Just a reminder, after the last race, we're going to be doing podium pictures. Taking off too fast. Are we trying to toast it before we start? Yep. All right, we're all checked in.
Yeah, you're done.
Can we? All right, let's get us in order. David Ponder, John Cola, David Coleman, Charles Lazat, Anthony Smothers, George Runick, Alan Hayward. Caution one and four. All right, caution 1 and 2, caution front straight. Mayhem account. Right, David Coleman first place, Charles Azat second, David Ponder third, Anthony Smothers fourth, David George fifth, Alan Hayward sixth. All right, David Coleman with the fastest lap of a 5:39. David Ponder right behind him. Just took it back from him, for God's sake, with a 5:34. Charles was on in third place. Anthony Smothers in fourth. George in fifth. Allen in sixth. Caution front straight.
All right, halfway, drivers, halfway. Coleman and Ponder battling out here, 9/10 apart, coming through 3 and 4. The green car, number 51. Oh, he gets tangled up with Anthony, and Ponder goes right by him. New leader down the back straightaway, that white and orange, number 26. Second place, Coleman. Charles in third in the purple and gray. Caution in four, caution in four. Anthony on his side. That's going to possibly put him back a little bit here. George trying to run him down. It's Ponder and Coleman out front on a 43-lap run. Coleman on 42, Charles 42, Anthony 38. Caution on back straight, go high, 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 to the wall, guys, to the wall. Take it to the wall.
Oh, boy.
And we're clear. That's going to change things up. Coleman's going to take over. Charles in second, now Ponder to third. Just a minute to go now. Closest battle between caution and four, Charles and David, and that's going to change now. It's Coleman out front by a lap. He's in cruise control. The other two leaders are right in front of him. Smothers back a lap and change in fourth. Oh, watch out. Allen in the infield. 30 seconds to go. Closest battle still between Charles and David at the line. Looking for a difference here. 3.4 between Charles and David for that second spot. Make that 2.5. Those guys are going to be on the podium here unless they fail, because Anthony Smothers is back 2 laps and change. Caution 3 and 4. Your leader upside down. There goes. Nobody for position just yet. Wow. Coleman's going to win this one upside down almost. So that's time. Race it to the line. Looking for 2 more. George and Allen. George and Allen. Everybody else is done. Looking for Allen. He's upside down. Somebody help him out.
Turtle.
Looking for Allen to finish out and shut it down. David Coleman going to take that one. 41 laps, 4:02. Charles with 40. David with Ponder with 40. Anthony 38. George 37. And Allen with 30. All right, buggy late model. Let's get him down and check in. Cola, Gronke, and Rooney.
All right, guys, slow it down now. Got some marshals out there before we get squirrely.
We get squirrely.
All right, guys, turn it loose, turn it burn.
Turn them loose, guys.
Get your hot laps in. I mean, there's no point in breaking before we're racing, guys. All right, your starting lineup for this one's going to be Cola, Gronke, and Rooney. All right, gentlemen, roll them off. John Cola, Gronke, and Rooney. Roll them off. Starting lineup, Cola, Gronke, Rooney. Cola out in the lead on a 43 lap pace already. Gronke right behind him on a 43 lap of himself with a fast lap of 5.59. He on third. Second. On third. John Cola in first place with a 5.57. All getting squirrely in turn 3. John Cola still out in first. Gronke right behind him. Rooney in third. Cola's got himself on a 43 lap pace. Gronke right behind him with a 43 lap pace. And Rooney 2. Right at there. 2 minutes left. John Cola seems like he's out there on cruise control right now.
He's not on cruise control. Cola showing the way here. 43 lap run going. Gronke right behind him by 1.7 on the clock. So just about a straightaway. Oh, Rooney getting sideways, trying to take Cola out. There might have been some team driving out there. We're going to form a grassroots blue ribbon subcommittee to look into those allegations. Just about a minute to go. Short course. Modified, a.k.a. Traxxas Modified. Start heading this way. Fast lap going to Cola, 5.57. Gronke, 5.59. And Rooney, 5.65. So all right there. It's just not making those mistakes. And a little luck always goes a long ways. 40 seconds. 1.3 between your leader, John Cola, and Chris Gronke. $20 seconds. Just a reminder. Podium pictures after all racing's done here, right here in the staging area. That is time. Race it to the line and you'll be done. Rooney's done. John Cola's done. Chris Gronke's done. John Cola taking this one 43.404. Victory by 1.4 seconds over Chris Gronke, 43.405. And Mike Rooney with 41 and 402. Great job, guys. Everybody started and finished in one piece, and we had a battle for the lead the whole race. That was awesome. All right, we are going to need a marshal to help us out with this one. Traxxas Modified, Chris Thompson, Mike Raines, Bob Rumplash, David Coleman, Charles West. Let's get them down and checked in.
Get some hot laps in. All right, we got everybody checked in. Starting lineup on this one's going to be Thompson, Rains, Rumplash, Coleman, and West. Sorry about that, guys. Burning and burning. Good laps. Sorry. Coleman in first place, Thompson second, Rain third, West in fourth, Rumplash in fifth. Coleman coming right out with a 5.32 as the fastest lap. Oh, watch out. Oh, we can hear them tires are squealing around the corner. Oh, David Coleman laying down a 5.30 right now, first place. Chris Thompson in second. We got West in third, Rains in fourth, and Rumplash in fifth. Oh, nice tangle up in the front straight. Watch out. Got to mix up a little bit. Not enough. David Coleman putting down a 5.29. Coleman out there on a 41 lap pace. You got Thompson behind him on a 36 lap pace. Caution 3 and 4. Caution 3 and 4. Caution 1 and 2. Caution 1 and 2. Tangled up. Go high. Go high. All right. Let's see how that shakes things down. We got Coleman at first on a 39 lap pace. Chris Thompson at second on a 37 lap pace. Mike Rains in third on a 36 lap pace. West back there on a 35 and Bob Rumplash on a 35 lap pace. Guess I just missed the caution, huh? Guys are out ripping and gripping right now. All right, about 30 seconds left. David Coleman out in front. Thompson, Rains, West, Rumplash. All right, 10 seconds left. Got David Coleman in first place. Thompson, Rains, Rumplash, and West coming up. When you cross the line, you are done. West, Thompson, Rumplash, Coleman. You guys are done. You guys are done. Finishing lineup, Coleman with a 40-lap 404. Chris Thompson with a 30-lap 403. Rains with a 37-lap 405. Rumplash with a 35-lap 403. And West with a 34-lap 402.
All right, boys and girls, I want to thank all our live stream viewers for tuning in. We're going to get to our podium pictures here in just a moment. We will catch you all next Thursday for Thursday Night Thunder, followed by next Saturday is indoor on the Oval. Practice Friday. Thanks for